Isaac grows up, marries a woman named Rebekah. And in Genesis chapter 25 now, we are moving through the chapters. In Genesis chapter 25, in verses 21 through 23, it says that Isaac prayed to the Lord for his wife because she was barren, and the Lord granted his petition. Isaac married her when he was about 40 years old, and by the time that he has his sons, he is 60. That is 20 years. He prayed for his barren wife for 20 years. God is just making them wait, isn't He? I don't think anything's really changed. God promises, and then He takes us to the edge, and here we are teetering on the edge, and we're thinking, is God really going to do what He said He was going to do? Is God going to get me through this? And He takes us right to the edge. And you know what He wants us to do? He wants us to wait on Him, but He also wants us to put our weight on Him. Because He will do it. He will see us through. For 20 years, and she finally becomes pregnant. She has twins inside of her. And God appeared to her, and God said there are two, they were struggling in her womb, and she said, why is it like this? You can imagine being pregnant, and she's up in years now, and has these two babies, and they're wrestling inside of her belly. I mean, Janie, could you tell us a little bit what it's like to have twins? And those are good boys. These boys didn't like each other. I mean, they were fighting in the womb, and they're wrestling around. And she's like, oh, Lord, why is this happening to me? Have you ever said that? And God said, hey, there's two nations in your womb. And the younger, or the older, will serve the younger. God revealed to her that upper story that we've been talking about. God's plan in working out this redemption of man. He says that younger one is the one that I have chosen. And so when they're born, it's hilarious. The first one comes out, and he looks like an orangutan. He's got red hair all over his body. I mean, this is hilarious. And his brother's got a hold of his heel, and it's like he's trying to trip him. Oh, I'm going to get you. Boom, I want to be first, and he's trying to pull him back in so he can be first. And so they named the first one Esau, which means what? Red. Hey, Red, how's it going? I wonder why they call you Red. You look like an orangutan. And then his brother, they named him Supplanter, Jacob. Jacob will grow up, and he will take his brother's birthright. That double blessing that the older brother always got twice as much inheritance as everyone else. But Jacob's going to get it. And how did he get it? With a bowl of bean stew, okay? Bowl of lentil stew. And he got his brother's birthright. And then later on, his mother would have him to dress up in goat hair all over his arms and make him all stinky like a goat, so like his brother, so he could go in and steal his brother's what? Blessing from his father. And that blessing was going to be prophetic, and it was that's why all the great things were going to happen to him, because it was so important, that patriotic blessing that they received in those days. Especially in this case where he was God's chosen. And you know what? A lot of times we look at Jacob and we think, boy, he was a trickster. Look, no, remember what God told Rebekah. And Rebekah was following that upper story of God as it played out in the lower story of man. And Jacob was a part of that. He was a good man of God.